Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you this fabulous pair of Georgian silver tea tongs. Now, I was in a neighbouring town last week, not really an antique shop, a shop where the man knew enough about stuff, but people were he was renting cabinets out to people, and there was a guy who was doing antique silver. And near the back of his cabinet, unnoticed by anyone, I do think, for £50, these were listed. Now, these are a pair of Georgian silver tongs, as I'm sure you can tell. They've got a shell bowl, absolutely stunning, I think, personally, absolutely stunning design. Shell bowls, nice, good cast work, because tongs of this period, like, you think of sugar tongs, don't you? These are sugar tongs. They're for the use of sugar, getting a sugar cube and dropping it in the tea. These are sugar tongs, but these are about 1740s period. And back then, these were cast. So you'd, basically a bit like Silver Punks, so what Silver Punks does with his stuff, it would be sand cast or it would be wax cast. They have a brass mould that you put in different pieces, mould in, and then shake it out like Silver Punk does with his 3D prints. And then after that, you pour the molten sterling silver in, and usually you get air bubbles, and that's a weak spot for tongs like this. It's a weak spot, air bubbles. For cast silver, really weak spot, and it ends up having to be repaired. I'm happy to say these, by the looks of them, I've looked them all over, they do not seem to be repaired. And I say that with the utmost happiness. They do not seem to be repaired, which makes them worth more than a repaired pair. Now you will see they've got some nicks, little bits of damage to them. They're a bit off-centered at the top. I think you can see that. There's a little bit of dings there. But the guy lowered the price for me, and I got these for £45, which is a steal, considering I now know who the maker is as well. And they're listed as silver, no hallmarks, tongs. That's legit. Silver, no hallmark, tongs. Because it's a very tiny label. But here, I'm just going to get an eyeglass in. Should be able to see on that loophole there, there's two marks. You've got the line passant there, and a maker's mark IA there. And that's repeated on each fingering. So if we just turn this around, it's repeated. If you see there, repeated with IA and line passant, IA, line passant. Those are the only two marks struck on the whole, only two marks stuck on the whole item. Now, as I said, they're cast, and they have a hinge, as you can see there. They run quite smoothly along that hinge. But they are, unfortunately, this isn't too much of a problem, but they are quite loose, if you know what I mean. They move around when you move them. If you see, it's hard to notice, and it's not something that's important, considering how old they are. And they've had turnings to this bit here, so the hinge is not exposed. They've done some turning with silver over the hinge to block off that hinge from view, which is a nicer kind of touch. You've got period, owner's initials, WIE there. Like I said, they're cast in quite a few different pieces. So if you have a deep look at them, you'll see this left side here is actually cast to the turned piece, and this side here is the one that moves. The right side is the ones that move. So the left side doesn't do anything, the right's the one that actually moves against the left side. Like I said, absolutely stunning piece. Hallmarks are crisp, really good quality. The owner's initials, beautiful. Just get them there. Beautiful initials. Great work, to the sides. All this lovely cast design makes the whole thing a lot more delicate than it would be if it was hammered, like the spoons were of the period. Yeah, beautiful piece. Very happy to get this for £45. It's quite heavy. It's quite heavy in the hand. Usually these pairs range from, the cheaper pairs without the turning as well. They just have the hinge exposed. Those, when you drop them, obviously with the hinge exposed, smacks against that, the hinge is basically broken. You've got a broken pair of tongs. These have been dropped. You can tell by the damage to this right fingering, which is obvious there, and the fact it's not quite even. But considering these are 1740s, you know, one of the earliest. In fact, this is the guaranteed earliest piece I've got, and the maker is John Alderhead for IA. And if you have a look at the passant, you see the cutout there, and the punched stamp is in a certain design only used between 1739 and 55. So we know it's George II. George II silver sugar tongs. I think that's just something that I thought I'd never own, but I'm very proud to say I do own them. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I certainly enjoyed sharing these beautiful Georgian silver tongs with you. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.